I hate when people are like, oh, well, blue eyes are just a result of inbreeding. Like, shut the
And so,
fuck up. We're all inbred. Like, what?
yeah,
As a
that's what human
species.
being
That's
is.
how, like,
Yeah,
that's how it works. How
literally.
else does the population grow? We're all a little inbred. Some of us just more than others.
Manic Pixie Jump Scare. Hosted by Quinn Murphy
and Becca Hobart.
Hi.
We're Quinn.
Quinn. And we're Becca.
Becca.
And welcome to Manic Pixie Jump Scare, a podcast where Becca and I talk openly about our shared delusions,
passions,
and love for each
other.
And guys, today I'm scared because
yeah.
And we're alienating our audio listeners 2 episodes in a row now, but Becca, for the video watchers, is not on screen right now. No. And that is because, as we discussed in our last episode, Becca got her hair done today.
Yeah.
And as we talked about, Becca and I's relationship is just a content farm now. And so Becca had the ingenious idea of not turning her video on. And now we are going to do a live reveal on the podcast.
So, oh my God.
I know the color. I know the color, what the color is going to be like, but
yeah.
So Becca, are you happy with this result, or do you love it? Like, what's your feeling on it?
I am very happy about it. I actually thought about how when you were talking about your shag, there was like an oh shit moment you had.
Yes.
And I certainly had one today.
Okay.
It did take 6 hours.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but it's definitely different. And you've never known me like this.
No, and blonde Becca is like a staple. And
exactly.
Everybody who I know who knows Becca as a blonde, it's like, oh my God, that girl. And I'm just like, well,
she was crazy.
Who am I even hosting a podcast with? It's like,
exactly.
Oh my goodness. So I think it's the moment of truth.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Right.
Nothing will ever be the same.
I know. Okay.
I'm about to cry. I'm literally about to cry. Like, I can feel it.
Oh God. Cancer season. Okay.
Cancer season.
All right. Well, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God, it's a
I'm bobbing it up, right?
It's giving Violet Beauregard. It's
giving Rosamund Pike.
It's giving Rosamund Pike.
Like fully.
Oh my God, it's giving Cool Girl. It's giving Becca. It looks so
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I'm very happy with how blonde it got.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It looks like naturally blonde. Aren't you? Legend has it you're like naturally blonde, right?
I am naturally dirty blonde, so I would say this is like one level lighter than like, but she had my roots, like she kind of teased them up and stuff, so it's like kind of my natural dirty blonde is like in there, but some of the brown is still like left.
Yeah,
but it's like blonde enough that I'm like
no, but it looks very
happy.
like it looks like it grew out of your head, that color.
Well,
is what I'm saying.
You.
Yeah. Which it doesn't always have to be the goal of hair dye, but
it's nice
if it
sometimes.
is,
why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
I'm
what?
So happy.
What things can we expect from Becca's Blonde Ambition era, would you say?
Oh my God. I mean, okay. Last time I was blonde, I was just the happiest I ever was.
Yes. We love that.
I think expect me to wreak havoc. I guess like, I think finally I'm going to be a whore.
Yeah. No, I think after Mum Summer, we're on the precipice of like a big like sexual breakthrough as a people.
Yeah.
I've been feeling the tide shifting with that.
I think so.
And I think especially because we are with the reintroduction of like religious piousness and like Judeo-Christian and like Protestant sexual values in Western society, I think there is bound to be a backlash where it's just everybody's going to be like fucking.
Yes. And I think also like our like COVID, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think we're about to really get the roaring 20s.
Perhaps.
I mean, this is all being said, obviously, in we'll see because of what was just overturned. So we'll see
and
how long.
monkeypox and the impending recession. You know.
So guys, maybe not, but we're gonna
Becca and I
try.
are allowed to make predictions, even if they're unfounded, and that's a rule of the podcast.
Yeah, even if everything is against us.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that
wow.
I expect me to become a little bit more magical again.
Yeah.
More coincidences. What? There is no such thing as a coincidence.
There's no such thing as a coincidence.
More synchronicities.
More synchronicities, yes. Julia
Yeah.
Cameron, very much. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm so happy to know you now.
I know. This is crazy. You used to know me, now you don't. Now you do.
Yeah.
Wow, Becca. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's catch up since that is the tradition we've established on this podcast. Yes. So, Becca, I feel like the catch up is going to be a little bit more of like a media diet catch up today.
Yeah.
And Becca and I have recently been listening to some music. And Becca, I know you have been a little entranced by a particular project that has come out lately. And so do you want to tell the viewing public about that?
Yes, thank you for asking. I have been obsessively listening to Florence and the Machines, or I guess it's just Florence now. I don't know if it's still the Machine. Anyway, to the album Dance Fever. It is so fantastic and such a great summer album. Summer, like midsummer, dancing in the fields. Yes. I'm gonna like a huge theme of the album is like dancing away, singing and dancing away like your anxiety and fear. And it's so beautiful, and I just can't stop. I feel like I might be whoa, what if this blonde Becca is like cottagecore Becca?
Very Becca on the Wendy show.
Very much a braided headband.
Yes.
And
a little
a tiered dress.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was you were giving.
Yeah.
Like my friend Tegan Amish.
Very much so. And that's fine. I actually, after last episode, I would like to apologize to the Amish because I'm very pro Amish now. Now that Quinn said that.
It was funny because I was watching the episode today because I was editing it, and it was funny because you had the reveal that like Ben was deaf, and then we had a cinematic parallel
Ben
revealing. Oh, why do I keep thinking your cousin's name is Ben? It's Ryan.
Yeah.
Your cousin Ryan, the Frankie Grande to your Ariana.
Yeah.
When you revealed he was deaf, it was very cinematically like parallel to when I revealed Tegan used to be Amish. I feel like it felt like we both had things to reveal in the episode.
Yeah, two big shocks, one after the other. Boom, pow. Definitely crazy.
No, literally. I meant to listen to Dance Fever today, but I did not quite get to it because,
life.
Okay. But is it like dancey? Like, because Florence is not somebody I expect like uns music from.
No, it's very much like her, like the classic rock type thing. Like very much. This album, I think, is the most Stevie Nicks I've heard her be.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like the folky rock stuff that like
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. It's there's some also like the song Choreomania is a little like leans into poetry.
Oh, which
the way it's
Becca
delivered
is an expert on.
Yes, very famously poetry
Uh-huh.
minor. So I was like, let me listen a little louder because I'm tapping into this.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful piece of work. You should definitely go out and listen to it on a walk. That would be
Yeah.
ideal listening, I think.
Yeah, I should listen to it. I need like a new, because as we talked about, I've been obsessed with indie pop lately.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm starting to, I feel like I've overdone it a little bit. As Becca and I talked about in our last episode, it's like an all or nothing. And so like all I've
Mm-hmm.
listened to for the past 2 weeks is like indie pop. And now I'm like,
Another genre.
but I keep coming back also. I don't know. It's just the area of life I'm in.
Well, speaking of, I have not listened to the album that you are obsessed with right now.
Hmm.
Do you
Hmm.
want to speak on
Yeah.
that piece of
So
work?
Muna's sophomore album I've been waiting for with like bated breath. Or no, their third album. Becca and I are both big fans of the group Muna,
Yeah.
which if you don't know is like this queer band that is very like lesbian slash trans femme like
Mm-hmm.
not friendly but like made up of like lesbians and trans femme people and like all that kind of stuff. And so, or I guess not trans femme but like femme people who like identify as trans, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
they're not a girl group, and they've like said that because not all of them identify as women. So
Yeah.
but they're just a really cool freaking band and I love their music. I like their album Saves the World is
Yes,
like
so
a
good.
seminal document of my life. Was it this podcast where we talked about our love for the song Pink Light?
I don't know if it was in the podcast or just in our lives, but
Mm-hmm.
that song is so good.
Yeah, Pink Light is an amazing song. I've been listening to the Yaya song a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a beautiful little self-care tune. Also, it's gonna be okay, baby. Like,
Aw.
I just love, and
The
also the
song. Oh, I was gonna say number one fan. Nothing gets me
amazing
pumped
pop song,
up like that.
amazing pop song.
So good.
And then their like first album too with Crying on the Bathroom Floor. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the song Around You, something about the lyric. In Arizona, half a pack of cigarettes. Something about that like lyric just gives me that buzz.
Ooh, hits
Like
you
I don't
right in
know
the.
what it is, but anyway. And then so it's been about 2 weeks since they released their last album, which is their first album. They were on RCA, but then they got dropped like at the beginning of the pandemic, I believe. And then Miss Phoebe
Oh,
Bridgers said, "Oh,
come to my factory.
dad, as they call her."
Yeah.
Um, Phoebe put her on Satisfactory, which is her label,
Mm-hmm.
and it's their first release under Satisfactory. It's a self-titled album. Ah, it's amazing. The song "What I Want" is my song of the summer. It's like, have you heard it at all, Becca?
No.
It's like this beautiful, it's exactly what we were talking about with like the sexual liberation. It's like a song that's just about
Oh,
partying and about having a good ass time
I
and
love
about
that.
not caring about what other people think because it's what you want. um like there's this
Wow.
one lyric that's like and when I see my friend put something on her tongue, I'm gonna ask for one because that's just what I want. And I'm like, yeah. And it's like,
Wow.
it's fully like, when people are like, oh, that song like glamorizes drug use and like this song is fully doing that and is like, yeah, what about it?
It's what I want.
It's what I want. And then there's
Okay.
this one lyric where in the middle of the chorus where she goes, I want to dance in the middle of a gay bar. And like, that's simply always what I want to be doing.
She gets it.
Yeah. And so
Wow.
yeah, I just love it. There's another song, Runner's High, which is like a cool, like, they're like kind of foray into hyper pop. I like obsessively listened to the album for the first 2 days it was out. I'm in love with like all the singles. Home by Now is a beautiful song. Kind of Girl, which is it was one of their singles, and they did this music video where they all dressed up in drag, like as men,
Ooh.
but the song's
I
called
saw the
Kind of Girl.
photos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And then there's one lyric, and this was like one of the times I felt most emotionally charged, and like I'm literally getting like thinking about it, but she goes, I'm the girl who's floating on a dandelion, thinking how the winds could change at any given time. And like one time I was listening to the song and I
Aw.
almost started crying. Like
I
I
just got
like
chills.
yeah, it's like and I didn't like expect it. I didn't like expect like to feel that emotion because I listened to the song a
Mhm.
bunch already, but it like just hit me in a different way. And like
Wow.
and then like Loose Garment, Shooting Star, it's an amazing album. If you are not on the Moon Wave, I'm literally so excited for their concert in August.
Yeah, I might have to come to that.
Can you please? Because I don't know if anybody else is coming. And Katie Gavin
Yeah.
famously has a crush on Becca.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was going to talk about how I am so emotionally connected to Muna because of
Yes.
my experience in which I saw them open for Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
I had a whole different experience with Phoebe, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
But while Muna was playing, there was a brief silence. And so me being me yelled at Katie, who was staring at me
Mm-hmm.
the entire concert.
I don't doubt.
Multiple people told me like, why is she staring at you? And I'm like, well, it's because I'm beautiful and breathtaking and she loves me. I did scream at her, you're
Yes.
so hot. You're so fucking hot. And she had a giggle into the microphone and she looked at me and was like, oh God. Which okay, I'm not proud of myself for objectifying her like that. It had to happen though.
No, and no, it's a horny on May and summer. I
Yeah.
myself am
Okay, good.
experimenting with being horny on May right now.
Oh, I know
Um,
you are because okay, Macy texted me and goes, how does Quinn find the tweets they find? And then sent me screenshots of like your likes on her timeline showing up. And it was like something, something pussy, something, something. Like I was like, I honestly don't know.
the fact that other people can see the things I like on Twitter is so scary to me. Like
Uh,
I know like cognitively that I see the things other people like on Twitter, but then my likes feel private. But like
yeah.
literally, and my friend, I don't do this, but apparently it was either my friend Kat or Annie tweeted out that they go to like their friends' likes. Like they go to like their mutuals likes and like read them when they like run out of
Sometimes
tweets
I
to
do
read.
that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because it's always
gosh.
fun. It's like someone, it's like a For You page of
Literally.
Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know I'm gonna like it.
Yeah. So being horny on main is something else we're experimenting with.
Fun.
Speaking of being horny,
Mm.
or not,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I read a book recently that I need to talk about on
Okay.
here. And Becca's not a follower, or Becca doesn't have Snapchat because she's like an adult and cool. But I've like been roped back into Snapchat over the past year, and
Oh.
I'm having a little fun with it because my Snapchat private story I feel like can be much more private than like my Instagram close friends story.
Yeah,
Because like my Instagram close friends, like it's too big. It's too big, but I don't know who to boot off.
I get that.
It's also nice because my pro tip for Snapchat is do not connect your number to it. Make a new Snapchat and
Oh,
don't connect your number to it.
I didn't know you could not connect your number.
I do it, and Snapchat does try to bully me into connecting my number to it, but I say no, no,
You
no.
don't give in because you're strong.
Literally, and nobody can find you.
Wow, that's nice.
Like nobody adds me who I don't want to add me because they don't have my phone number.
Yeah,
And it's so nice.
that's
Like my
smart.
Snapchat feels much more curated than like my older Snapchat did. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I read a book called Red, White, and Royal Blue. I'm gonna grab it off my
I think
shelf.
I've seen the cover of this. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
book, this book, this book. I read it right on the precipice of my Sea Isle trip, which I talked about in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I started it, and then Sea Isle, baby, I was turning pages of this book. I was on the beach, like one night, I literally got everybody to stay home because, and on a Saturday night, I was like, they were like, oh, what's the plan for tonight? And I was like, honestly, guys, I just kind of want to stay in because I was reading this fucking book and I was like,
Whoa.
nothing that will happen to me at a straight bar in Sea Isle City, New Jersey is going to be more interesting than what's going on in this book.
Fascinating.
And I stand by that.
I'm so proud of you.
Yes, literally. And so the premise of the book is it follows the main character is the first son of the United States. So he's the son of the president who is the first female president of the United States. So like first of all, we're like, yes.
Rock on. Yeah.
He has resentment towards the second like in line of like the current British like royals, like the Harry. He's like in the same position as Harry.
I see.
Prince Harry.
Okay.
He's not like next in line for the throne. He's like fifth or sixth in line, and he won't be like royalty for a long time. But anyway, so I am like reading. So they have this little rivalry, right? And then they're at a wedding. They're at the royal wedding of the prince's brother, who's like the actual like first in line for their generation,
Gotcha.
right?
Okay.
And the first son gets super drunk and like gets into like an altercation, not like physical altercation, like more of like he loses his balance and like falls into the prince after having like a little verbal tiff with him because they have this little rivalry. And they knock over the cake like at a royal wedding, basically.
Yeah. For the layers.
No, which like causes an international incident, basically. And so then
it's a war crime.
Yes, literally. They go on this campaign to like convince the public that they're actually best friends and that they've been like really good friends for a long time. And so they have all these like press events and all this kind of stuff. And as fate would have it, they end up falling in love.
Wow. OMG.
And so yeah, they start this little tryst, this little romance even. And it's like a huge deal because his mom is running for her second term like throughout the book. And he has this secret relationship with the literal prince, like a prince of England. And so huge conflicts of interest there. And he's like trying to keep it a secret from everybody. And it's just,
seems so interesting. Isn't it kind of similar to the book you just read?
Yes. Yeah. It has like, I truly think, well, this one was published first. I truly think this author could have like a legal case against the other book I talked about. But because like the story beats are so similar. But this one's longer, so there's more like detail and stuff. And gotcha. I would say you are supposed to like the characters in this book in a way where you are not supposed to like the characters in the other book. Like that's kind of the biggest difference, but they are very similar books.
Gotcha.
And I don't know, it was just beautiful. It's also about like grief in a way because like it's just like because the prince, his father is dead. Like he lost his father at like a young age. And his mom's side is like the royal side of the family. And so his dad was just like a regular schmegular girl. Well, actually he was an actor. He played James Bond in like this fictionalized world, but like his dad was one iteration of James Bond basically. And so it's crazy. And so he's like dealing with that, and there's just this beautiful like the writing was just beautiful and stuff.
That
I'm gonna read this quote that I was literally taking pictures of the book being like, I want this like in my phone. So there's this really cute thing they do. Oh my god, I like gushed over this book. But they like send emails back and forth to each other. And there's one chapter where it's just all emails, and at the end they start including like famous like quotes from like historical figures about like love, and it's like stupid and gross but like also cute. And at one point the prince types, "You see, for me, memories are difficult. Very often they hurt. A curious thing about grief is the way it takes your entire life. all those foundational years that made you who you are, and makes them so painful to look back upon because of the absence there, that they're suddenly inaccessible. You must invent an entirely new system.
OMG.
Like it's just like shit like that. And I was just like, oh, and it's nice because they're both like kind of closed off, like emotionally disconnected people, but like
They
they
finding each other.
literally,
Aw,
it's
that's so
and
sweet.
like there was a part of me that I'm over identifying with this and like pretending like this is my life and like escaping into the world of this
Maybe.
novel.
But I've actually heard many people talk about that book and say it's like one of the best ever.
No, I truly love it a lot. There's a
Mhm.
collector's edition coming out this year with like an extra chapter in it, and I'm like, let me buy that.
For sure.
um there's also a movie being made where Uma Thurman is playing the mom, so she's like the president of the United States, which I think is
Oh my
just
God.
the silliest thing ever.
That's amazing.
It's like it makes so much sense for Uma Thurman to play the president of the United States, but it's also so camp.
So goofy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Oh, I know I talked about Florence and the Machine. I also wanted to bring up Florence Pugh
Yeah.
because she recently exposed some nipple on
Really?
the carpet purposefully. It was a sheer dress that she wore,
Wait.
and she got a lot of flack for wearing that. And you can look on her Instagram. It's like one of the most recent things. She got a lot of talk back, obviously from idiots.
Oh,
Um,
work.
but she looked so criminally good.
Yeah, wait.
It basically brought me to my knees when I saw the photo of her. She is one of my celebrity crushes,
Uh-huh.
and one of the people who, in my delusions that I have, like that I'll marry a bunch of celebrities and then divorce them. She is divorcee number 3, I believe.
Wow. So you're not
Yeah.
even staying with her.
No, because I love divorce, I do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we would always be good friends, me and her, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But you can only live with someone for so long usually.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
I think she looks so good.
Yeah.
And like literally I think
In
I
Maison de
am
Valentino.
exactly. I if if male presenting people can
That part.
show their nipples, like female presenting or just femme people, anyone, every single person should be able to show their nipples.
Yeah.
So
If you want to
yeah,
show it, you should be able to show it.
do it. Yeah.
It's like literally, yeah, especially in like a thing where it's like, at least with like genitalia and stuff, like we all kind of like agree that like, okay, everybody keeps those away, which, you can
Yeah.
debate and stuff like that. But like with nipples, it's just so gendered, being like, oh, well, men's nipples are okay, but women's nipples, like when I was in Sea Isle, not to keep talking about this trip, but I was in Iwawa, and
yes,
this guy just walked in and fully just did not have a shirt on. I thought he was just wearing like a skin tone shirt, but he just fully didn't have a shirt on, which like it's a beach, yeah. But then I was like, if a woman just walked in here topless, titties out to the wind,
it would be crazy.
They'd be like, no, literally, they'd be like, ma'am, you can't do that.
Ma'am. Stop.
Excuse me. But like this guy was just in there and like had his breasts out.
Yeah.
And he was fit. He had breasts. Like he had like a little something there, a little squish.
Yeah.
But like, sir, put your tits away. How about?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Becca and I are for freeing the nipple for everybody.
Always.
Literally. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She looks good. I think that's the barometer, because some people wear things and they don't look good.
And she looked incredible. So
literally.
That's really all that needs to be said.
Period. And she's Florence Pugh. So I believe Becca and I have done our little cheeky catch up. And so when we return, we'll be getting into our topic for today's episode.
Ooh. God, you guys. Okay, so we are back. We
We're
did it.
back.
Me and Quinn had a little kiki off screen,
I
on
know. It's
screen,
becoming like a
but
new tradition that
undisclosed.
we have a little conflab
Yeah,
outside of the
our break
that's
is
just
just
for
us
us.
talking again,
Yeah,
but it's more personal, I guess.
literally.
Um, but to move along, this episode's theme.
Got the glitch.
I really tried so hard to get back on track so fast. Okay, the theme of this episode is much like we did a Stan list. We are now going to mirror that in the upside down by presenting to you all our problematic faves.
Yes.
So these are people who we maybe do stan or at least
Mhm.
appreciate, but we can also recognize they're not the best, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So me and Quinn both are going to present 5, and just like the Stan list, we have alternates ready
Mhm.
just in case
There's some
to
parallel thinking.
yep, to hopefully get a list of 10
Mhm.
of our problematic faves. Do you have anything to say about the theme, Quinn? Or should we just jump into it?
Yeah, it's a little sister to the Stan list.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
we are not. I don't know what to say. There's probably, especially with one of the people I have on the list, there's just all this fanfare around them right now. Wink, wink.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and it just has me thinking a lot about like the limits of like the term like problematic and like all this stuff. So I don't know if we're exactly gonna like breach all that in
Yeah.
conversation today, but we are just gonna say that these are things because my
Yeah.
list is not limited to people because much like the Stan list, I challenge myself to go beyond the, you know,
Yeah.
what we thought of as Stanable.
Expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like what other things are problematic faves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, Becca, would you mind if I did
The
the
honors?
honors? Because I think this
Please.
person was the inspiration around us like talking about this in the first place.
I would believe it.
Because I am a fan of this person, but it's much like we were talking about. We talked about it on the podcast before, but like specifically like people who were like important to you as a child.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about that that's like powerful in a way that like somebody who like you come to as an adult, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Like I love like Lil Nas X, like that's somebody who I like really enjoy, but like because he wasn't around as a child, I feel like he will never like reach the peaks of like a Lady Gaga for me.
Yeah.
Like
He
there's
couldn't.
something about it. And
It's
so
like an
like
emotional tie.
so somebody and MPJ's first problematic fave, the name on everyone's lips, Leah Michelle.
Bleak.
Leak, leak, leak. So Leah Michelle, for those
Yeah.
of you who are living under a rock or people who like aren't involved in theater, was recently named as Beanie Feldstein's replacement in the recent Funny Girl revivals after Beanie was universally panned for her performance as Fanny Bryce. And we like Beanie Feldstein on this podcast.
Yeah.
And so I have not seen the show. I have not seen anything. I've just read the reviews, and she wasn't what people were expecting out of Fanny Bryce. Funny Girl is also has like such a history because first of all, with the Leah Michelle of it all, there was obviously a whole plot line throughout Glee where she was like the next Barbara Streisand. And then there was a
Mm-hmm.
revival of Funny Girl that she starred in the actual show.
Literally crazy.
And now, well, it's not crazy because Ryan Murphy at one point owned the rights to a Funny Girl revival and they were going to helm it with Leah Michelle.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it was fully like a thing at one point, but then funding fell through or something happened with it where they couldn't do it anymore. And so it fell by the wayside. There was also a rumor after A Star is Born that they were going to do a revival with Lady Gaga as Fanny.
I heard that before.
And Rosie O'Donnell as Mrs. Bryce.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah. So, but there has not been a revival of it since its original run in like 1964 or something. So, yeah, it's iconic. And Leah Michelle, people obviously talk about her, like Don't Rain on My Parade a lot, but what I listen to, what I come back to is her version of I'm the Greatest Star from Glee when she was actually like in it. And Leah Michelle, it was just, I grew an appreciation for her, especially after rewatching Glee, where it's like she really is like a singular talent.
Yeah.
And look, she did do some objectionable things.
Look.
She did allegedly threaten to shit in a wig of one of her black cast members. Yeah. And was just among other terrible, like everybody like reports she was like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'm not making any excuse. I'm going on the record as not making any excuse for Leah Michelle's nightmare behavior. You shouldn't treat people like that. And that is why she's a problematic fave. That's why she doesn't belong somewhere like the Stan list, but she does belong on this list.
Yeah. I always think about Chris Colfer saying that, like, yeah, she's annoying and she's terrible or whatever, but holy shit, can she sing?
She's so talented, and I think it's a sad fact, but sometimes if you're good enough,
it makes everything
like you can have like it's like a line. It's like this talented for this fucking unbearable. But also like, and I think the Leonaissance is upon us between this and the Spring Awakening documentary. Because like whoever is on her PR team and is like working on this image rehabilitation is doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Because like, especially because like the Spring Awakening documentary made her look so good, especially when like she was talking about like accepting Jonathan Groff when he was gay and stuff like that. And so also the fact that Jonathan Groff is somebody who I've talked about on this podcast before, who I respect, who I am attracted to above all else, really. And the fact that he keeps Leah Michelle in such close company all these years later, like makes me think like it gives me a certain endorsement.
No, yeah, for sure. I'd like to also say that Leah Michelle was the perfect cast member on Scream Queens because she plays insane so good. And
I think we need to have Leah in like a supporting capacity more often.
I think so too.
Like I think that would help her not be an evil person. And the one episode of Glee that Rachel Berry is in but is not centered around Rachel Berry is the season 6 episode. It's either called A Wedding or something like that. But it's like, it's one of Leah Michelle's best performances on the series because it's about Brittany and Santana, and it's also about Kurt and Blaine, and there's no room for her. She's just like around during the episode, and she's doing like great like comedy and like slapstick and all this stuff. And I remember being like, wow, they should have done more of this.
Yeah. Because she got to herself, to her own head, and we all saw it. Yeah, what it could do.
And also, I feel like something that gets lost a little bit, and this is not an excuse, but it's just something we need to consider, is like she did also go through a very specific like trauma during Glee, especially like during like having somebody you're like dating and like in the public eye with literally die of like in the way that Corey Monteith did, and then having to like go on and having to perform your grief for a television show.
Crazy. I know.
It's like Black Mirror. It's crazy. And like the fact that she was put through that, I feel like people don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to say that like she should be excused of all these like anti-Black things she did, but it's just like, anyway, it just exists in the world, and it's just things that I think we should think about sometimes. Yeah. And so, okay,
Leah Michelle, number one.
Leah Michelle, number one. And so, Becca, who is your first problematic fave?
So, this person, I feel like was just too obvious. I almost didn't write it down. But I thought, no. It actually has to be my first presentation. And that is none other than Nicki Minaj.
I did not even think about this. Yeah, Nikki does
Yeah.
belong on this list.
Especially
She's the
now.
perfect person for it. Yes, she's the
Yeah.
perfect person for it.
Because much like Lea Michelle, what a singular talent.
Yes.
Truly no one can do it like she is doing it,
Hmm.
has done it, will continue to do it.
Revitalized the whole genre of music.
Exactly. But at the cost of being anti-vax, of being a little bit weird about I don't know how she deals with other women. Um Among a few other things that are
Of intimidating witnesses in her husband's rape trial.
not me chalking it up to how she deals with other women. Um Things like that. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, don't do that. Don't be like that, but also
Hmm.
you're a genius.
Yeah. Hmm.
So,
And like,
yeah.
especially with this whole, like the fact that Nicki Minaj, like, how long, like 12, 15 years now, she's been like a mainstream success. And now the fact
Yeah.
that like there is this renaissance of women in rap where like
Mhm.
for so long it was just Nicki Minaj. And then of course when
Literally.
like another person came into the industry, it got like a
Mhm.
little ugly between those
Heated.
two.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's not, and we acknowledge that that does not come completely from Nicki because it's also just like an industry thing where it's like
Yeah.
you see for such a long time that only one woman can like exist in the industry. And it's
Mhm.
like Nicki Minaj was like the female rapper. And so when another
Yeah.
woman comes into a male dominated space and says, "Oh, I want to do this too," it's going to be threatening.
Yeah, it feels like
Um,
there's not enough room for both when
yes. And so
there is.
yeah, not an excuse for what Nicki has done to
Nope.
like
Nope.
mostly just Cardi B. Cause like I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like when the wave came in, she realized she couldn't really stop it.
Mhm.
But yeah. Um, yeah, my Sagittarius sister,
Exactly. Sagittarius, so you know I'm an
I'm an
optimist.
optimist, something I say once a week. At least.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's your favorite Nicki Minaj song?
Oh my God. I mean, that's hard. I
Hmm.
guess Barbie Dreams. Just
Okay.
because I have never gotten tired of it.
Hmm.
Mostly because ah so many of her songs are so good. And I try to
Hmm.
like learn them. Um, so like and I now I know like all of Barbie Dreams. It feels like a
Yeah.
monologue that I could perform at any given moment. But also like 12-year-old me wants to say super bass.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. It's so good, like so much good stuff. The Queen album, amazing.
My friend Corey is a big Queen truther.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like an actual Nicki stan. He has like a Nicki Minaj tattoo.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What is it?
he has the outline of the Chun Li buns on his
Oh my
shoulder blade.
God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Nicki song?
I almost feel bad saying this, but it probably is Starships
Yeah,
because
fair enough.
Starships is like an amazing pop song. And like I know
So
Nicki
good.
hates like the music of that era because she
Right.
was being forced to like do like this pop when she wanted to do something a little bit more true to the rap that she wanted to do and that she's kind of
Hmm.
done since.
Yeah.
But something about that song, like the electronics, it's the
Starships
perfect
coming
summertime
to
song.
fly. So good.
Literally, we're higher than any other.
Yeah.
And I also really love the song Yikes.
Yikes.
And also just the features, favorite Nicki feature.
I gotta say Monster or
Oh,
Motorsport.
yeah.
Yeah.
Motorsport.
Put a thing of sport.
No, sometimes Nicki features, sometimes Nicki like, sometimes if you actually listen to Nicki's bars, you're like, okay, she was,
That's crazy.
but like,
Oh,
then other times you're like, this is genuinely amazing. I think my favorite
yeah.
feature of hers is actually, I just had it in my head. Oh, the Say So original remix.
Oh, So good.
Call them Nestle.
Pretty.
They crunchy, man.
Pretty like Naomi, Cassie plus Lauren.
That's the original. Or no, that's the actual remix. And then the original remix is another one. But the one you just quoted was the one where she says something around like, I be counting money while he's sucking my toes.
Yes.
Which is another great lyric.
Crazy. I got to bring up her Ariana features because her and Ariana's working relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
So
besties. A Cancer and a Sagittarius.
Here we go again.
Here we come again.
We don't even have to do the who's who.
Yeah. No.
It's built in.
Oh my God.
It's built in.
Wait, in our relationship, I guess in our relationship, I am very much the Nikki and you are the Ariana.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Barb's, we love Nikki.
We're with you. Yeah.
We're not fully in like cautious. The Barb lane. We're cautious. We don't love her all the time, but we love her most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, Quinn, would you like to do entry number 3 on the Problematic Faves list?
I would. And this is the thing on the list that I am most confident would hate Becca and I.
Okay.
It's a person. And Becca and I have talked about them at length before. And I think they would dislike Becca and I so much. I think they would hate this podcast, actually.
Okay.
I think they would revile it.
Oh my God. I don't know if I know what you're about to say.
So my second entry into our Problematic Faves canon, HRH collection.
Oh, okay. But I think... I, for some reason, think like that I could convince her to like us.
We could tap dance enough where we convince her to like us. So for those of you who don't know, the least famous person we've talked about so far, HRH collection, or Alex. I don't know I forget her last name, but
me too.
Alex is a woman who owns a jewelry line called HRH Collection. But more importantly, she has a YouTube channel where she just posts these like rambling vlogs where she switches between emotions so quickly that it's truly concerning.
Yeah.
And she hates everyone.
Truly.
In like the most iconic way possible.
I'm pretty sure she's a Taurus also. I think that makes sense.
That would make a lot of sense for me. But
she's also randomly like 45.
Yeah.
Or something.
She's just a prissy like woman who lives in Brentwood and like complains about her life. Definitely voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Like both times. Or like didn't vote and didn't like understand the issue with that. And so she's just iconic the way she does things.
Her personality, you've probably seen a clip of her.
Oh, like, 1,000% you have. If you're listening to this podcast, there's no way you don't know who HRH is.
Yeah, you definitely have seen her. The way she just yells and then goes completely calm.
Yes.
And then yells
it's like scary.
It's so scary. She can turn it on and off. Well, I actually don't know if she has control.
Yeah.
Whatever is inside her can, live and die soon. And yeah.
And I think that's the enamoring thing about watching her is you truly don't know if this person is okay.
Yeah.
But like she's in like a nice house at least, and she has a lot of nice things and like runs a business.
She runs a business and it seems to be like doing well. She has like coworker. I just don't know. How can you like
people who work under her?
Yeah, literally.
And she is funny sometimes. Like there's this one vlog. Well, like she's unintentionally funny a lot, but then other times she is very intentionally funny. Like there's this one vlog she did where she was like talking about snacking and like how she like snacks and stuff. She also has like a strong eating disorder.
Yes.
And like very much encourages disordered eating and hates fat people. And talks openly about all those things. And she was like, so this is how I do it. And she takes her phone and like places it in her fridge and she goes, don't get scared, the light's gonna go out. She's like, don't freak out.
Don't freak out, guys.
And then she like opens, like it's so funny. It's like a POV, like, oh my God. But yeah. And her little dog Ming, who's So scared.
Yeah, so scared and tiny.
He has one of the white
and
dogs that
messed
like
up.
cries, and she keeps it
Yeah,
pretty clean. Like Ming never looks like teary or anything, but like
yeah.
Ming is so obviously like terrified of her.
So clearly scared, just a really scared dog.
Probably because she's like
Crusty
a,
eyes.
and it's like Ming is so small and she's like an average size human, so she's so big to Ming and she's always screaming and like, yeah,
Always screaming.
literally.
Oh, that must be the worst as a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Screaming owner.
Favorite HRH quote, Becca?
Probably the classic, like, if you get it, if you get it, if you don't, you don't.
Mm-hmm. It's not the vibe. Stop.
It's not the vibe. Stop.
No, have you ever seen the video where I think my favorite is like, you just hit my car?
Oh yeah.
She was literally filming when somebody like rear-ended her or something, and she goes, you just hit my car. And then she's fully screaming at this person.
Yeah, and vlogging.
Yeah.
Like,
I also love when she
wow.
smokes inside her car and she's like, I can smoke. She's somebody who has conversations with herself, which is also so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's someone who's like, she'll be smoking a cigarette and she's like, don't tell me about this. And it's like, nobody said anything. You're alone in a car. But she's anticipating like the comments on YouTube and like having a conversation with herself as a result.
Yeah. And
which
she
is
will
crazy behavior. Yes.
I love when she points into the camera and she's like, I know exactly what you're thinking, you dirty fucking rat.
It's like sinful to make fun of food. Like that's how I was raised.
She's so funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
HRH, we love.
Love.
But we're like, anyway.
But yeah.
Becca, where are you taking us next?
So this is another person.
Mm-hmm.
And someone near and dear to my heart. Definitely not like as close as you and Leah Michelle, but getting there. And that's Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
Another topical one with her new boyfriend who loves guns and I think was a police officer or something like that.
And like there were all these photos that just came out of him like making out with a dog and his cousin and
yeah. So I
this is a good entry.
It's like, again, like she's so good at what she does, but then she says things that are just so strange or hurtful or I just I don't know, the whole, also her and like Lana Del Rey versus feminism. It's just
when she was like, I've always been an intersectional feminist. I didn't need a word for it to happen. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, like it's just crazy.
It feels like if that were true, you could have just kept that to yourself.
Yeah, she definitely talks out of turn. So, and then dates a lot of men who are like cops or like just weird. Like, yeah. So her personal life is probably a mess.
Yeah, I feel like I'm somebody who like feels like I should have had a Lana Del Rey phase, but I just never got into it.
Yeah. Did you even listen to Norman fucking Rockwell?
I tried, but I got bored. I love the song Norman fucking Rockwell.
Okay.
But like Mariner's apartment complex, I think comes right after that, and it's like 9 minutes long.
Fair enough.
And then have you ever seen that video where it's like the hotel going like crazy and somebody like jumps off like a balcony and there's like a leak and like everything? Have you ever seen that one video? Or I don't even know. I feel like somebody will know what I'm talking about, but there's just this video of like chaos erupting at like a hotel and somebody like, I have like a core memory of somebody tweeting that video out and going, this is the Mariner apartment complex.
I will say her aesthetic is just so, it was profound to me when I was 13. Now I look back and I'm like the twee thing that was happening is just it's a little cringe to me now, especially with like its whole like
Renaissance.
Yeah, but it was not inclusive at all. Like every other thing about fashion or trends or whatever. But yeah, that specifically is like was very alienating, I think. But yeah, Lana, love her, but she needs to, I think, get better surroundings and
Mm-hmm.
maybe sleep for like a month, and maybe she'll come to her senses.
She'll wake up feeling better.
Yeah.
She is very not like the other girls.
She
Like that's
always
like
tries to do
the,
that.
especially because like she'll be like, especially because I feel like she's the person who she's comes, they're like, who are you wearing? And she's like, I just got this at like the mall.
Yeah, got this at Old Navy. These are just my denim shorts. It's
Literally.
like, okay, girl.
You served. Okay.
Nice.
What next? But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Quinn, what's your next entry on the stand list? Or Problematic Faves
Don't put that
list.
on the stand list.
Sorry.
Stand list is sacred
Sorry, guys.
document.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So the next one is gonna be a little out of left field.
Okay.
And it's because I just came up with it today. And it's related to something I did today. And it's something that I realize is good for me, but does not feel good in the moments when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
My next entry is core workouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I have to ask, are they problematic to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like how I feel when I'm doing them. And I often don't like how I feel the day after.
Yeah. They're hard.
Like everything hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, I know it's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know it's good. I know it promotes good posture. I know it,
Like,
is toning
yeah.
something.
Like she has a point. She has a point.
She made several points. Like sometimes it feels good, but then other times I'm just like, oh. I was with, and this is starting to intersect with the stand list because I was doing my yoga with Adrian, as I am wont to do.
Of course.
And Miss Adrian really put me through the ringer today with like a core workout. And this month on Adrian's channel, like it's like very core centric. And so I can't escape from it.
Yeah.
And like I know it is very beneficial for me to be doing, but it's just like at the same time, it's hard.
So
And I know I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, ugh.
please. Yeah.
And there's something about your core hurting, like your core being sore, where it just makes everything so
Debilitating.
hard.
Yeah. Getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Hard. Going to work. Hard.
Moving
Exactly.
hard. Yeah.
Hard.
And so core workouts.
I do enjoy.
Mhm.
Is there a specific core workout you find the worst? Like I hate sit-ups. I'll do crunches forever. I'll do bicycle kicks forever. I hate sit-ups. They hurt my neck.
I feel like yeah. That's one thing Adrienne always says. She says, don't crunch your neck, crunch your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably bicycles.
Really? I love those.
Yeah, bicycles. They're the worst. One core exercise I really do love is, it's one Adrian does a lot, but I'm not sure if like the Gen Pop is up to it. But it like targets your obliques. And so you basically get in like a twist, like a supine twist.
Okay.
Where you're laying on the ground and you hike your like legs up and you put them to one side. Mm-hmm. So you're in like a twist and you do crunches from there.
Oh.
I like those. I find those kind of fun. And it's like a fun way to like target. And you can tell like you're like, ooh, I feel like I'm toning my obliques with this one.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. Very nice. But also kind of bad.
Yeah.
That's why she deserves to be on the list.
Our problematic fave. Okay, Becca, where are we going next? What else do you have in your little bag of tricks for us?
All right. So this one, much like I had dogs who can't bark on this one. Well, I'm not going to draw that similarity because my next entry is just regular old sharks. Because
yeah.
I love sharks. I love them. I think they're beautiful, such interesting creatures. But they are bad
scary
sometimes when they bite people. Come on, cuties, stop biting.
Yeah.
It's problematic because they're gonna bite someone, realize oh my god, it's not the food I wanted. I gotta go. But it's like they don't realize the havoc they just caused, probably killing someone.
Yeah. They
So
don't know
it's
their own
crazy.
strength.
Yeah, no, they're just little sweethearts.
It's like a huge dog that doesn't like socialize correctly when it like jumps on people. It's like they don't get it.
Exactly. I
And you
know.
can't
It's so
reason with them
sad.
because they're a shark
Yeah, they don't speak English or anything.
or any language for that
They don't
matter.
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it sucks because it's like, I do feel bad for the sharks, but because
Hmm.
I feel like sharks are very much like bees in that they only truly fuck with us when they feel like we're fucking with them.
But I feel like also if you just like act the wrong way at a bee, it will sting you. Or, like, I don't know. Bees are
Yeah.
just so quick to sting. A
Hmm.
shark, I think, is less quick to bite. But also, I've never been bit by a shark and I've been stung by a bee. A shark did,
So you have bias, is what you're saying.
I do, but I did have a shark encounter, but I was not bit.
Like an actual shark?
Yeah, a baby hammerhead shark, um, swam over my foot one time.
Like in like open water?
Yeah, it happened in Delaware, in Lewis.
That's scary.
It was in the bay. Could you believe?
Can't
And
believe it.
they have nets that are supposed to stop that. But
That's the bay my grandparents live on.
yeah, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep.
Um, yeah, sharks. Favorite kind of shark.
Great white for sure.
Wow.
What
The
about
most
you?
bitey.
Yeah, the big biters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite shark?
The whale shark.
Nice. Those are
I
the
remember,
spotted ones.
yes, I remember one time in first grade, my teacher, I was reading a book on whale sharks. My teacher took a drawing I was tracing because
Oh,
apparently I was like off task or something.
what the hell?
It's like first grade, like what even can you be on task?
Literally.
What tasks do you have as a first grader?
Excuse
Oh,
me, I was drawing that.
I was drawing. You're stymieing my artistic creativity, and that's not something I appreciate.
I don't like it.
And maybe that's what, and maybe today that's why I'm not a visual artist. Ever think of
I
that?
would believe it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I don't know proper technique. Anyway.
Oh, also, I was walking down the street the other day
Mhm.
and I do have a shark jaw tattooed around my knee.
Sick.
Um,
So
and
sick.
people can look at my Instagram for that. But I was walking and a guy goes, "Excuse me, ma'am, is that a shark?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, please let me take a photo." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "I got this buddy. He loves sharks. His name is Jaws." I was like, "The your friend's name is Jaws?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Honestly, rock on."
His name is John.
He likes sharks. His name is
Ooh,
Jaws.
ooh, ooh.
Yeah,
Jaws. Yeah,
literally.
that's an appropriate interest for someone named Jaws, I would say.
Exactly. So it all adds up. But yeah, sharks, I love them.
Hmm.
But Quinn, where we going next?
So my fourth entry is the most recent. Is it actually? Yeah, it was the last thing I put on the list,
Okay.
but I'm presenting as the fourth, just for
Oh,
style. Um,
sure.
it's a song,
Oh.
and it's a song I think a lot about, especially with the way in which the artist has been acting recently. And it's an artist that Becca and I, an artist worthy of the stand list, I would say. At one time, this artist could have been on this list, but now I feel like the artist is in a place where they could firmly be on the stand list.
Okay.
And so my fourth entry will be Better Than Revenge by Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
A slut shaming anthem.
But it's so good.
It's such a good song, but I truly think like I will be surprised if she releases it just like a full, like I will be surprised if she just like puts it out without changing the lyrics a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get it again.
Like I feel like she
Unfortunately.
might put something out. Like I feel like she might rewrite it or something for Speak Now, Taylor's version.
That
And
would be
Speak Now
fun.
is my favorite Taylor Swift album, and so like I feel like I
Hmm.
need to put that out there. But Better Than Revenge, it's just I truly most of the song isn't even bad, but I think truly just the lyric, she's better known for the things that she does on the mattress is just
Yeah, it's not
very
great.
like it's just not.
Yeah.
And it's nice because it's like Taylor Swift is clearly like it's just interesting because the reason I think about it is because that's clearly not who Taylor Swift like is anymore.
Yeah, she grew up, she learned.
Like Taylor Swift now, and she wrote that album when she was 20. So like
It was bound to happen.
I think she was well within her right to write something like that. And even then it was like innocuous and like nowhere near like the worst public thing she's ever done probably, but like I don't know, when I listen to the song it's just, you know.
When I was going through my villain era, this past winter,
Yeah.
did sing Better Than Revenge for a karaoke at Tequila Cowboy.
Yeah. Perfect.
And it was probably the most powerful I ever felt. I was also dressed up as a nun.
Yes. As you should have been.
So a nun was singing Better Than Revenge in a Western themed bar. I'd love video footage of that, but I don't have it. But
you are performance art.
Yes.
You are performance art. Yeah, there's something lovely about it. And like the story of us, I feel like is like it's like a sibling of like the story of us, but like the story of us is like, I feel like if she had centered it on the man, because obviously like it's not a woman's fault that like a man you like is, you know, fooling around with someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, and that's just, yeah, that's the whole thing about it. Even if somebody is trying to like conspire, if it ultimately is a thing where they like go and hook up, then it's like still the person who had a commitment to you's fault.
Exactly.
And like maybe the person's shitty for trying to like
exacerbate it.
Yeah, but it also is never, she also never gets that thing where she's like, and you suck too. You suck even more. But anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Better Than Revenge. We love it. I'll listen to it. I'll scream the lyrics. But
I will.
You know.
So good.
The messaging, not the best.
Yeah.
But Becca, this is your fourth one as well. So
yeah.
Where are we going? Sharks is hard to follow up.
It is. And this one, I thought of this today as well, kind of a last minute thing. It's something I think you'll agree with.
Yes.
And it's not inherently problematic, but it feels problematic. And that is that I prefer blue eyes over any other eye color on anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is scary. This is scary to me because I have the same thought so often. Every time, like a lot of times when I see people with brown eyes, I'm like, they would look better if they had blue eyes.
No, yeah. And it's like, okay, blue eye supremacy. Or like I
would find them more attractive if they had blue eyes.
Yes. It's a personal preference thing. Yes. I'm not like, oh, brown eyes are ugly, but I'm just like, I wish that I were blue.
Yes.
And like, that's not like bad, but it feels weird that it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Because of connotations of blue-eyed people.
And it's and okay, also let's say this, like let's appreciate ourselves for a second. Another thing that's like on watch, it's not at the same level of like I feel like I've talked on the podcast before about when people are like, when I say I don't like cilantro and people are like, oh, does that mean you have the gene where it tastes like soap? And I'm like, no, it just tastes like asshole, like literal asshole, like worse than asshole actually. And people are always like, oh, it's like genetic. And I'm like, no, people are allowed to not like things. Like we don't need to pathologize everything.
Yeah, true.
What was my point with that?
Oh my God.
No, okay. This is my point. You
can't say that and not know where you're going. Okay.
This is my point, actually. I hate when people are like, oh, well, you know, blue eyes are just a result of inbreeding. Like, shut the fuck up. We're all inbred. Like, what?
Yeah, that's what human being is.
Like, that's how it works.
Literally.
How else does the population grow? We're all a little inbred. Some of us just more than others. And
I thought this light was gonna help. God.
No, because
Wait,
I was looking. I'm like, Becca is just getting darker. Like it's just
just
dark
in the
where she
dark.
is. She's
I
just
think
sitting in the
maybe.
dark podcasting.
Yeah, because it was light enough out earlier, but now the shadow is so.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
that's the
just the
bat
best.
signal. Um,
Anyway,
yeah. So yeah, people like okay, don't hate on. Well, like, and yeah, I don't know. And blue eyes is also,
one more
it
fifty
does have
cents.
such a bad connotation because it's like,
It's tricky. It's
and
tricky.
it's also so tied to like Euro like beauty standards and like
I
yeah.
know.
But
Mm.
it's who Becca and I are.
Exactly. What can I
Don't
say? I
hate
just
us.
love
We know
it.
it's bad. We know it's bad.
Yeah, we can.
And
If we can
sometimes
recognize the problem,
and
we're not the
sometimes people
problem.
do like with brown eyes. I'll see on Snapchat people do like the blue eyes filter, and I'm like, oh, you're scary now. You
Yeah,
know?
it does because it doesn't work on everyone,
Yeah.
and
And
that's the
also
harsh
having brown eyes
reality.
sometimes seems like a serve, like because I'm
Yeah,
like blue eyes are just like scientifically more sensitive to light. And sometimes I'm just like, well, what would it be like if I was like brown eyes and didn't feel like I always had to be like
in the sun. I know.
literally.
Ooh. Yeah. So shout out to all the people with brown eyes or
We
green
love you
eyes.
guys. We love
Yeah,
you guys. I think we should band together against people with green eyes.
that would be fun because they always. You want to talk about blue-eyed people keeping their eyes open?
Green
Green-eyed people,
green-eyed people will never let you forget the fact they have green eyes.
literally. They're like, look at that tree. It happens to be the same color of my eyes.
No, we need to talk about that.
They're so annoying.
And they are much less common than blue-eyed people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
Statistically. All right. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
Quinn, where are we going next?
We're already at my final entry,
Wow.
which is an idea, an
Okay.
action even. It's a little broad, but I think it'll make sense. My next problematic fave is consumption.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This was so. Oh my God, Quinn, this is the perfect entry.
The perfect, the
Oh my
quintessential. And this
God.
is why I
It's
placed it last in the most powerful position.
because it's so true.
Yeah, literally.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because I be consuming.
I be consuming things. I be consuming things.
Oh my God.
I have a problem. Can I say? I think the thing I have a problem with the most is some people might think it's clothes, but honestly, I don't own that many clothes, and I'm not a like bad consumer of clothes.
Mm.
I think especially compared with other people, I am not a bad consumer of clothes. Like I have a lot of them, but a lot of them are like ethically sourced, yada yada yada, all that stuff.
Yeah.
An area of my life in which I am truly heinous, books.
Oh,
Something about me is that I will
yeah.
buy a book.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think you should be allowed to.
Yeah, and it's like it's fine because I don't like throw them away or anything, so I don't feel like I'm wasting. But also, I'm contributing to an industry that, like, of course, is like paper and all that kind of stuff. And like, I could
Yeah.
use an e-reader, but something about me,
I don't like
I don't
them.
like it.
It's
I
not
like
good.
a physical book in my hands.
I want to
like
flip those
turning the
pages.
I love
Yeah,
the way a book smells.
exactly.
I love the smell of a bookstore. I love going to a bookstore. I love finding new books that I can pick up and say, oh, this sounds interesting.
Oh my God.
Oh
I've
my
got to
God.
have it.
Oh my God. I gotta have that.
Exactly.
Literally. I think I bought, I don't want to say, I'm gonna be brave. I think I bought
What?
like 8 books within the last 2 weeks.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I finished like 2 books in that time.
Okay, that's something where, yeah, I will buy more books than ever I could even read, realistically.
Literally, yeah. And I'm like,
So
I
what's
haven't made
tough.
much of a dent in like but I just love it.
Yeah, I just want
And
to get more.
something about like the support local bookstores movement. I'm like, yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
yeah.
It's
And
an
now it gave me an
excuse.
excuse. It was like enabling for me almost. But yeah.
Yeah.
But consumption more broadly, that's an area I struggle with consumption, but also like it's like taking it back to Mr. Shaw's AP and Bi-Sci class. It's like when you truly like understand, like if you start to like understand like your carbon footprint, like there's no way you can start to understand like your carbon footprint and not feel so shitty about yourself.
Yeah, I know.
But also a certain amount of it is just like society and like how we live and like, you know.
Yeah. It's crazy because like personal responsibility is important, but not nearly as one billionaire changing their lifestyle.
Literally, yeah.
So literally, like, do what you can, but also it's not all that serious because you're one person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So keep reading.
Keep reading. At
And
least,
I'll
and
keep
like,
buying clothes.
and the other thing, yes, and the other thing about books is like, I feel like I went through an era where I like wasn't buying books that much, and so now I feel like I'm catching up almost in a way. And see, I like legitimize it to myself.
Yeah, it's so easy.
It's so easy.
Too.
So easy. It's so easy.
Yeah, crazy.
And so yeah.
All right.
Well, Becca, finish us off before, of course, we
Yeah.
get to our alternates. But
Of course. Okay, so my last entry is another person. It's someone who I actually don't feel that strongly about, but they just deserve this spot from their time in the media.
Yeah.
And that's Azealia Banks.
I'm so glad you put this because I was thinking of Azealia Banks as I like prepared for the podcast, and I'm like, should I take something off? And I'm like, no, she's not really somebody I care much about, or like the song 212.
Oh, so
I'm
good.
the only one popping my pussy right now.
But up to one so. No,
on
literally.
the Uptown, yeah. Yeah.
You know what's up, or don't you? Anyway,
so
so her music is good and I really like dancing to it, but not nearly do I care about her music as nearly as much as I care about her presence in culture and how she has contributed to my personal laughter. So many things she's done I've just had a giggle at or just had to laugh at. When her and other problematic fave Lana Del Rey had a fight, I was eating that up on Twitter. When Lana told her, like, I'll deck you, basically. Crazy. That had me having a laugh.
When she was like sacrificing cats in her closet or something, or doesn't she have like the skeleton of like her cat?
Azealia?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, but I'm sure she does.
Was like casting spells with like chicken bones or something, I want to say. Like there was like, that was one of her controversies. And she like, one of her cats that died, she like kept its skeleton.
I can't even respond to that other than yeah.
And also she's just also said like just violently racist and homophobic stuff.
Oh, the worst. Like truly a problematic person.
Yes, yeah. But also has such clarity in things she says sometimes.
Yeah, she's so convicted.
Like sometimes you can't, like the way she presents something, it's like, oh, that's not good. But like you can't ultimately, she's not wrong.
No.
Like when she called Charlie Ray, or no, not Charlie. I was about to say Charlie or Jepsen. When she called Charlie XCX an ashtray.
Crazy.
It's like you have to be so like smart to understand that joke.
Yeah. No, Azealia is.
And you have to be even smarter to craft it.
You have to be a fucking genius.
And she is a genius. I'm convinced of that. Yeah.
She definitely has the mind of a mastermind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And also Wendy Williams, who we need to talk about again, who also could have fit quite nicely on this list.
There's no saying she hasn't been.
When she did the round off on her show, like that infamous clip of her saying, Azealia Banks has had conflict with, and like stated all, like went on for like 2 minutes.
Literally.
And like there's like the state of Ireland, which like Wendy doesn't even mention, but is like on there. And like, yeah.
The state of... No, literally, Azealia just beefs with everyone, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. I'm glad she was included. Wow. Yeah. Well. Wow.
We did it again.
Yeah. So Becca and I have created another list. I feel like it might be a theme of our podcast moving forward with some of the other things we have planned.
Teehee.
But yeah, so that was our problematic faves. So Becca and I are going to go take a little breather, and then we'll be back to get into our segments for this week.
Yay.
Hello, my little jump scares. Quinn here, if you couldn't tell. So, as Becca and I discussed several times throughout the podcast, we actually both developed an alternates list in case we had any parallel thinking. But since that was not the case, we have now decided to upload that conversation as an exclusive to our YouTube channel. That'll be posted sometime on Wednesday, July 27th. So if you want to take a little look at that, head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, leave a like on the video. But seriously, do check out the alternates. It's just as fun and funky and fresh as the regular list. Some notable snubs. Did we get them in the alternates? You'll have to watch to find out. I will give you one little hint about what's going on in the alternates. That walk was diabolical. So yeah, head over to our YouTube channel, Manic Pixie Jump Scare on YouTube, and have a good time. Okay, bye. Guys, I'm scared.
Oh. Oh my god, so Becca and I are back.
Yeah.
Becca is now in a little bit better of light because Becca was giving Campfire Story a little bit during the last segment for all of
I
our
was
audio
giving
listeners.
Blair Witch for sure. Literally Blair Witch. I had my own flashlight on.
I was giving Blair Witch. So we have a segment we like to do here on the podcast called Comment Corner.
Sure.
And it's a podcast where you guys write in and we read it. And so we have somebody who's a little Addison Rae obsessed with us. And so Becca's gonna read literally. Becca's gonna read their email right now.
Yes. Okay, so this is from Stranger Nanditer Merhesh. Nice to meet you. Okay, it says, "Hi, Pixies. Nan here again. Famously with my friend Molly again. Just writing in to talk about how impactful this show has been on our lives. Something about us, your voices, we love. I need to nap, I put MPJ on. I need to shower, I put MPJ on. I in the car, I put MPJ on. I need to listen to a high quality podcast." Where am I going? Podcast and oh god, I need to listen to a high quality podcast and chuckle left and right. I put MPJ on. Keep up the good work. Hoping to be on the show one day. Have many a thing to discuss. You guys had a large impact on a very special new development in my life, and you probably didn't even know that. This podcast brought us very close together as we dissected the podcast, brought up chats of our own, and just accepted that we should always be our most authentic selves. And to that, let's get a rock on, everyone. Peace, love, and rock. Nan Sam Mahesh.
Wow.
What was that? All right.
Who was that? Guys, I don't know what was that.
Guys, I'm scared.
Thank you, Nandita. I'm so happy that you and your friend Molly are enjoying this podcast.
Yeah, and you have such a beautiful accent. It's crazy. I could tell just from your email. But
dumb.
I know. I know.
Oh my god. Okay.
But
well, guys,
thanks for the kind words for sure.
Yeah, guys, please write in.
Yeah.
Nan can't be our only person writing in.
No, that would be humiliating, guys.
Well, we did have Lauren last week. Thank you, Lauren. Yes, another stranger.
Yeah.
But we'd love to hear from you guys. Have you struck up any friendships? Have you made any community? Becca, what if like one day our podcast grows to a level where people start making like friends based off the podcast?
Internet friends? Oh my god. I hope all the people in France watching are
literally,
finding each other.
Zut alors, a new MPJ.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
No.
When we do our live show at the Aurora Borealis, I hope people like maybe they'll get like a hostel together. Maybe they'll like, I'm excited for that.
We should do a meet and greet in the Arctic.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bring
Oh
your
my goodness.
thermos.
Bring your thermos. It's a little cold up there.
Loves it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good comment corner. But now we move on to perhaps the centerpiece of our whole show.
Oh.
Our little segments we like to do. Our first is the jump scare of the week. So it's something that literally instilled such a sense of horror in Becca and I that we have to bring it to you, the listeners, and say, watch out.
Yeah.
Don't look out for this thing in the world. So Becca, what is your jump scare for this week?
So actually, I did not prepare a jump scare, but right before we started filming, I told you how I now have I got a new insulin pump. It's the same kind I used to have, but it's just a new one because my other one was out of warranty. And so my old one's name was Tiffany.
Yeah.
And this one's name is Chloe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Chloe.
A little sexy 2000s name. And the thing about Chloe is that she's an icon. She started working immediately. The thing about Tiffany is this bitch won't die. I've looked up so many ways on how to permanently turn an insulin pump off, and she's just not having it. I think she's dead, and boom, she comes back to life.
Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, beep,
And
beep.
I did hear Tiffany crying, pleading out, Becca.
Put me in.
And Tiffany is concerned about you, Becca.
I know, and I get it because she tries so hard to do her job all day long, but I just want her to have a little break, go into restorative mode.
But it's past her time, ultimately.
Exactly.
When one supreme rises, the other fades away.
It's how the laws of nature. I can't make this stuff up, guys.
Yeah, literally.
I can't. Yeah. But Quinn, what's scaring you this week?
What is scaring me this week? I had such a clear answer to this at one point during the day, but a problem I have. Oh, just remembered it. But a problem I have, it actually relates to my jump scare. I like think of manic pixie moments in jump scares, but I want them to be organic, so I like don't write them down, but then I just end up like pausing. Anyway, my jump scare is truly the way I lose things, but even more specifically than that, the way I lose clothing.
Really?
Like I have full articles of clothes. I have multiple articles of clothing missing where I'm like, I just don't know where that is.
Dang, I'm so materially like I am so weird about my stuff. I do not.
And I am
have
too.
Tabs. I have tabs on everything.
Literally. And Becca's seen how small the place I live is. Like there's not much place to lose things. But somehow
Does that give you anxiety?
What do you mean? How small where I live is?
Like, no, when something's missing.
Like kind of, but I just like move on.
Crazy.
And it's nothing, there's nothing like one thing I noticed, like the first time I noticed is like I was missing like my black turtleneck. Like I have no idea where it went. But now something that I am having a little anxiety about is my Cher shirt.
No.
I don't know where she is. I can't find her.
No.
And so like that'll be like a loss. That will be a loss.
You have to find her.
And then I just like yesterday I came back. I was away from Pittsburgh and I came back and I took jewelry with me that like I thought I would want to wear. And I don't know if I left it in my house by accident back home, or I mean nothing much could have happened to it realistically. But like I just didn't have it. Like I didn't unpack it. And now I'm like, well, where is that? I'm just like, I'm bad. Like I'm like that, or not bad, but it's one of my weaknesses, or not weaknesses, but like I'm not very good.
Not bad, not weaknesses. Okay,
I'm trying to non-judgment, but I just am very like scatterbrained. I just have so many things going on in my mind at any given time that it makes me like miss those finer details sometimes. And then it does give me like a, where is that? Because I had some like, I guess you could say I have anxiety because like my favorite pair of like box sunglasses are in that bag. I have like a gold chain that like I paid a good amount for that like I don't necessarily want to lose. Some earrings. And so I think it's just at my house or it got lost somewhere, but I don't know. I don't like how I can like lose track of things so easily.
Yeah, dang. Okay, well I hope everything lost finds you again.
Prayer to Saint Anthony.
Manifesting. Full moon today.
Yeah, the blood moon.
Supermoon. So
Scary.
exciting. Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so now we like to end on a positive note here. And so now we have the manic pixie moment, where it's a moment where we just felt like that bitch. Like the whole world revolved around who? Us.
Us.
And so, Becca, what was that moment for you?
Well, it actually happened today when
Really?
I was getting my
And you were
hair
like,
bleached. When I was getting my hair bleached, I was like, and I was like, you know what? I'm so inspired by my friend Quinn reading all the time. I'm going to bring a book with me. And so I literally was getting my hair bleached, reading the book My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which is such a manic pixie book. And I was like, this
the manic pixie book right now.
literally. And I was like, to be a viewer of someone, like everyone else in this establishment looking at me doing this,
Yeah.
bleaching my hair and reading this book, it's like that is so funny. I wish someone took a photo of me.
No, literally. And like that's something like people with like astonishing auras or something. I could see that being like a Twitter account that like that picture of you gets posted on.
Literally.
I have such a clear image of it in my head. Yeah, something about reading in public, it will make you feel like the main
so
character.
Good. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I very much was feeling that. But Quinn, what made you feel like that girl this week?
I might get emotional, but I genuinely, I was like, and in like a way where this is like meant to be jokey, but like this is not a joke, and like I'm gonna have a vulnerable moment with the audience, but I am, and my friend Becca, of course, but I am so proud of like what we are doing here. Like I was editing our last episode today, and I was genuinely like laughing out loud. Like I think it's like funny. I think we're getting better at it. I think like we're growing, which is so nice to see. Like,
yeah,
because like Becca doesn't see the numbers as much as I do, because I am like kind of in charge of all that, but Becca is definitely like the force behind the numbers, because she's the genius behind our TikTok, which is like the main thing for our growth. And it's just nice. It's nice because like I feel like, especially with like the COVID of it all and like everything with like how life has been so disrupted in the past couple of years, it's like I felt like at multiple times during my life, like, why am I trying? Like like why am I trying if everything is just like a garbage fire and shit, and it feels like I can't do anything ever. And like without it like blowing up in my face or like leading to disappointment and like all that. And like this podcast is just like restoring my faith in like a weird way, and like the universe and everything, because it's just like, if you build it, they will come. If you work hard at something and you try to make a great product and you try your best at something, and you know, sometimes you don't like live up to it. Some episodes aren't as good as other ones, you know, whatever, but it's like it just feels nice that like we are making this thing that we're proud of, and people also like it, and it feels like this bet that we took on ourselves and like have invested in at this point feels like it's paying off. And that's just such a nice feeling, and it makes you feel like, you know, you're that girl who's like slowly building her media empire.
Oh my God, Quinn. I so agree with everything you just said. That's so sweet and so true.
And
I'm
like
so lucky to be doing it with you.
I know. Oh my God, I feel the same way. But it's like, it's like, and I'm trying to not get like too into it, but like, and like trying not to be like, you know, media validation is everything, but it's just, it's like, you know, obviously it's like, it's hard to know what to expect, like going into it. Like, it's just like, I don't know like what, you know, this is going to be like. Becca and I are people who are just like, we're not like celebrities. We don't have platforms. We don't yet, you know, yet. We're on our way.
Don't worry.
And in our minds and in our mindset, different story. But you know, but it's like it's obviously like we don't have like a producing entity behind us that's like funneling money into this or anything like. But it's nice because it's like, you know, obviously like in my wildest dreams we were gonna like upload one episode and everybody was gonna be like, oh my God, this is amazing.
We get it. Yeah.
But like realistically that was never gonna happen. But like the fact that like we're growing, and that the fact that people I don't know listen to this podcast, like people who found us on a TikTok and thought we were funny, people who watch our YouTube videos and think we're funny, people who like, you know,
Yeah.
it's definitely expanded beyond people just in Becca and I's immediate circle. And that's just something like I almost didn't allow myself to expect going into this. And so it's really just like, I'm just grateful. I'm taking this moment to be very grateful for what Becca and I are building here. I love doing this show, even if it is hard sometimes. It makes me a little like, never like the actual recording of it, but just like planning and going all that kind of like production stuff. But hopefully we'll get people on staff soon to like, so we don't have to do it. We can just show up and look pretty.
Seriously.
Do what we're best at.
Literally.
But yeah. And so, yeah, I'm just very proud of what me and my friend Becca are doing. And I love it very much.
Me too. That's so sweet.
And so, yeah.
And I guess on that note,
it's the end. But
end.
End of the podcast, guys. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. 9 episodes. That's the run. Anyway. Wow. But yeah, so Becca, the question now becomes, where can people find you if they want to keep up with you in their off time, in your new blonde era, in your international travel era?
Seriously, guys, check in. I am at Becca Hobart on Instagram, Bex Gloss on Twitter, and Where Y'all Going during World War III on TikTok. And you can also find me reading my Year of Rest and Relaxation on the street corner. Every single one.
Literally.
Quinn, where can the people keep up with you individually?
I'm at Quinn P. Murphy on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm at Quinny P123 on Twitter. Or you could find me doing work for this podcast and getting emotional, / laughing, / you know, having everything that comes along with starting a media empire.
Crazy.
And Becca, where can the people keep up with our show?
Of course, follow us at Manic Pixie Jump Scare on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, where we post exclusive content. This week there was some exclusives, and next week there will be some more exclusives, I believe.
Yeah.
And of course, please email into manicpixiejumpscare@gmail.com.
Yes, of course.
Tell us anything.
Tell us literally anything. We love secrets.
We're begging for secrets.
We're begging for secrets at this point.
Please.
Also, I will push again. We have not gotten a review on Apple Podcasts since our lovely friend who Becca used to work with, whose name I can't remember right now, but John.
Thank you.
John, and we love John. And we read his comment or their comment on the airwaves. And so that could be you if you leave us a nice enough comment.
Seriously.
Tweet about us.
One.
Talk about us on Pinterest.
Anything.
Instagram.
LinkedIn.
Tag us. LinkedIn.
Check it out, guys.
But yeah, so tell people, if you like the podcast, tell somebody about it. Listen to it with a friend, much like our best friends Nandita and Molly.
Yeah. Except obviously play it from both of your devices, but only listen on one so that we get both of yous, obviously. Yeah. You guys get that though.
Yeah.
You get that.
Yeah, like start at the same time. Like it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that.
Whoa, like
and it's like, are you on that part? Oh my God, no. Oh my God, they just said it. Oh my God.
Crazy.
So funny. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're Quinn and we're Becca. And thank you for listening. Mwah.
I can't breathe.
Oh my God.
Manic Pixie Jump Scare is hosted by Quinn Murphy
and Becca Hobart. Executive produced by Quinn Murphy and Becca Hobart.
Sound and video editing by Quinn Murphy.
Social media management and highlights by Becca Hobart.
And our theme song was written by Quinn Murphy, Becca Hobart, and Nandita Mahesh.